Good evening, how are you? I'm Angel, welcome to the channel. I'm delighted because in record time I have finished reading this historical novel, Cuxirimay Ocllo, The Betrothed of the Sun, the third installment in a trilogy about Inca princesses by Peruvian writer Roberto Rosario Vidal. The first was Inés Huaylas Yupanqui, A Star Between Two Worlds, and the second was 1600 Beatriz Clara Coya. As a lover of Peruvian history, and although I understand the importance of peoples as a whole and long term historical processes, I cannot help but surrender to historical figures such as this princess, christened during the conquest as Angelina Yupanqui, a real person about whom we know so little. Who was Cuxirimay Ocllo? A princess of the purest Inca blood, the Pibihuarmi or principal wife of Atahualpa, page 24, a young woman raised here in the novel under the care of the Mamacona or Abbess, Mama Achangara, to become Koya or Empress, page 39, and who witnessed an upside down world, one that fell from imperial glory to the loss of an empire amid a fratricidal war and the arrival of those strange white men, the Spanish conquistadors. This story offers a vivid tableau, a painted canvas of life in Tawantinsuyo, the Inca Empire, during its final years, the death of the last great emperor Huayna Capac, and the ruthless power struggles between Huáscar and Atahualpa, his sons. As a Peruvian, I know this part of our history, yet it remains thrilling, magical, and moving to be swept along by the author's talented prose to find ourselves in Cajamarca, the city of faithful encounter, where in mere moments imperial pomp was turned into slaughter, and the Inca noble women, together with the Aclias, the chosen ones, faced danger on honor more than life itself. Amidst the tension of Atahualpa's capture, imprisoned Cuxirimay, Ocllo, Inés Huaylas, and Juana Azarpay, among other princesses, had to defend themselves during the mass rape perpetrated by the conquistadors. The narrative unfolds with historical passages and figures. Inés Huaylas, or Quispecisa, as the first concubine of Francisco Pizarro, bearing two children from their union, only for the Marquis to end that relationship and become captivated by Cuxirimay, a woman of striking beauty, page 42. Yet, despite her rank, her bearing, and her goddess-like presence, she was not mistress of her own steps, page 13, and often wondered whether she could ever claim the right to choose her own path, page 41. This is indeed a recurring theme throughout the trilogy. Heroines, though women of high status and supposed power, are often deprived of agency, with others deciding their fate. Cuxirimay was no exception. The female world also brings us Inés Muñoz, a Spanish lady and Francisco Pizarro's sister-in-law, whom history turned into the mother of the orphans of the conquest, page 60. After Pizarro's assassination by the Almagristas, or supporters of Diego de Almagro, who was once Pizarro's partner and then became his rival, she took in not only Pizarro and Quispecisa's children, but Pizarro and Angelina's children as well. Another Spanish figure becomes increasingly significant, the young and handsome Juan de Betanzos, Pizarro's assistant and a passionate student of the Quechua language. He mastered the tongue and thereby touched the Inca soul, becoming an interpreter amidst the Inca resistance and the tense negotiations with an ever-strengthening Spanish power. Lima itself becomes almost a character within the novel, a vivid depiction on pages 70 and 71, a city destined to be the new center of Spanish power in South America. Yet the ancient glory of Cusco remained, despite the profound changes the former Inca capital experienced, page 87. Despite being a unique historical figure, a woman who belonged to two of the most powerful men, Atahualpa and Francisco Pizarro, I recall an article I once read in the UNAM Journal Catalog from Mexico, in which Bolivian historian Nestor Taboada Terán referred to Cuxirimay as the Malinche of the Inca Empire, trying to find an equivalent to that Mexican woman who played an important role in the conquest of Mexico. If comparisons are to be animate. However, I find in Roberto Rosario's novel an Andean Scheherazade who told everything and more to her beloved Juan de Betanzos. He, eager to learn all he could about the Incas, their history, their language, would immortalize this knowledge in his celebrated chronicle, Suma y Narración de los Incas, page 109, or Some and Narration of the Incas in English. The novel contains several passages of deep reflection. For example, 3. Truth was a slippery creature that only fools sought to catch. Page 63. About the lover's secret behind Pizarro's back. It was as though the city walls spoke in a language of centuries, saying what men dared not voice. Page 106, about the stories etched into every street, every stone of the great city of Cusco. When the whole world expects something of you, at times you have no choice but to become what you never wished to be. Page 115, on the inevitable duty of those who are destined for sovereignty. This beautiful novel also includes an extensive chronology spanning 1400 to 1600 and a bibliography of 34 sources from 20th century classics such as The Destruction of the Inca Empire by Valdemar Espinosa, a historical work, to recent novels such as The Inca's Spy by Rafael Dumet, a highly recommended novel. A journey full of passion, vivid imagery, and profound reflections on the life of a woman who regains her voice after nearly half a millennium. And today, the 26th of July, is a very good moment to recommend this. 492 years after the death of the first man in this woman's life, Atahual. Goodbye for now.